We're starting the newspaper reviews with The Nation. Major headline: Senate House passed 68.3 trillion 2026 appropriation bill. Capital market investors net 30 trillion gains in Q1. Jos, Tinubu Muftwang, security chiefs meet over violence. A court orders forfeiture of Hussaini's London house to federal government. 29 reps defection take APC members to 280. Here we have troops foil attacks, rescue 150. And El Rufai taken back to custody. We also have US, UK, France, 7 others clear Nigeria's ambassadors to resume. What do we have in The Nation?
Okay.
Okay, so the president yesterday challenged security and intelligence agency to be more proactive in preventing killings and abductions by terrorist bandits across the country. He was condemning the attacks in Plateau and Kaduna states. He said that early warning attack signals must be acted upon decisively by agencies. Also, the Nigerian Governors Forum, the Senate, and the Sultan expressed outrage over the attacks. As we know, 28 residents in Angwan Rukuba, Jos North local government area, were killed, and then and many injured. In Kaduna State, Kagarko, 13 residents were killed. 28 others were attending a wedding when they were abducted. 2, however, escaped. So, you know, as I said, we have the usual response, which is we're condoling, we're doing our best. And so those are the usual messages. So committee. We have the governor of Plateau State who has said that after the observation of the 48-hour curfew, they've now moved it from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. today. And he has urged residents to remain calm, vigilant, law-abiding, and that the message is that we would not allow non-state actors to intimidate us, you know, and that we would use whatever, all that is available to us to defend the people, protect lives and property. For me, these are just same rhetorics. We just need better. I need these people to be arrested. We need to see that they were arrested. I like that it would have been better if we have arrested them, and going forward, we'll make sure that we keep putting all the resources available to us to protect our people. Not that this has happened, then you tell the people to calm down, to be vigilant, and those people have gone off to do even more mayhem in other places. The Senate has urged the immediate establishment of permanent military and joint security bases in troubled parts of Plateau State. I was asking my mom, I said, I remember that particular area, Angwan Rukuba, usually from just point to point, the military, what do you call them?
Checkpoints.
Usually around.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's been a long time since we've had any major crisis in that area. So they've taken them away, and they've taken them away, and they've taken opportunity to come back. So it's like we're playing this game of hide and seek with the bandits or terrorists or whoever they are, because right now I don't even know who these people are. Are they bandits? Are they terrorists? Are they insiders? Are they outsiders? Are they people who, for political reasons or religious reasons, you just don't know? Just arrest these people who are killing us, and let's figure this thing out already.
As well. Any other stories?
Okay, following the first-tier tribunal in the property chamber in the United Kingdom that confirmed that General Hussaini owned the London property, which has been of dispute, the Nigerian court, you know, had ordered yesterday that the final forfeiture of this property, Justice Binta Yako ordered a final forfeiture of the property because the federal government had brought an action to forfeit the property temporarily, and up till the end, when the final forfeiture order was given, it was undefended here. Even though the court in the UK confirmed this property to belong to the general, and they also confirmed that he was bought under an alias name, where he was trying to disguise, you know, his ownership of the property to avoid certain payment, official documentation. But then, none of the estates, the action was brought against his estate. The kids, nobody came out to establish how this property belonged to the general back home here in Nigeria. So Nigerian government now finally, with this forfeiture order, has taken over the property.
Okay. Another story?
Yes, I have the Dangote refinery is raising funds, and so Afrexim Bank leads with $4 billion financing for Dangote refinery. The 5-year facility has been arranged also through alongside Access Bank, and the goal, the transaction marks a very significant milestone and a bulk sum coming into Dangote refinery. Afrexim's bank specific is 2.5 billion naira, and they are like the largest shareholder within the syndicate that brought in that $4 billion. Many people in Nigeria are waiting for when they will say, oh, they'll blow the whistle. It's on the stock exchange. Many Nigerians want to own, because I think it's I'm not giving financial advice anyway. Let me take papers. So, according to the bank, the financing of this magnitude aligns with their goals to reduce reliance on imported petrol, as well as deepen intra-Africa trade, since that's what Afrexim stands for. So, they're supporting with $2.5 billion, which is added to the Dangote refinery for the expansion they hope to achieve. We're looking forward to more success, so that maybe if any crisis happens, we will not have to suffer increase in price of petrol, because we are refining enough at capacity locally
in our own country. Moving on to the Punch. Major headline: federal government eyes all windfall to fund 9 trillion budget gap. Easter, Defense Headquarters orders troops to alert and confirm U.S. support. Afrexim Bank drives $4 billion funding for Dangote refinery. 2027 Transport Minister resigns. Adelabu orders hold on. Defection tsunami. 27 reps dump PDP, others for APC and ADC. Plateau killings. Tinubu invites governors as dead hit 28. That's governor. A Lagos CP withdraws task force from traffic duties. CBN sets tough cybersecurity timeline for banks. What do we have?
Okay. Defections. They say the wave of political alignments ahead of 2027 general election continued yesterday as members of House of Representatives switched political platforms, with APC gaining 14 new members and losing 2. The Speaker of the House yesterday lamented the decision of 2 of his colleagues to dump APC for the opposition. They said defections strengthened the fortune of the ruling party in the Green Chamber, as its membership rose from 280 out of the 360-member parliament. PDP has lost so many of its members, and they come a distant second with 38 members. The ADC has 15 members, while Labour Party and the New Nigeria People's Party are left with 12 and 5 members, respectively. Can you imagine? All the people that got on to won elections on the back of LP and the Peter Obi movement, all of them have fled the party.
Now. There's no structure.
Anyway,
so.
that's it. It's just that everybody has moved.
Really
everybody has their interest at heart.
Really, really worrisome.
Personal interest.
What
else?
Okay, let me just say somebody left 4.
Okay,
left 4 LP.
Oh, okay.
And then one person left to ADC, but when he was leaving to ADC, he was confessing that he's leaving his party because of loyalty to APC and loyalty to the president, and they were looking at him that, why are you not going to ADC? Because from what you are saying,
you should be
going
to
APC, but your paper is saying ADC. So there's actually they don't even know
what they were thinking. Any other story,
I
please?
have the resignation stories. So following the resignation directive by President Bola Tinubu through the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, George Akume's office, I think it was dated March 17th, they resign everywhere. So the Minister for Foreign Affairs was the first one to resign. He wants to run for governorship governorship seat in Bauchi State. Then the next one is Minister of State for Humanitarian Affairs, Dr. Yusuf Sununu. He today go Kebbi State governorship seat. And then recently, the Minister for Transportation has also resigned. He wants to run for governorship seat of Gombe State. But then there are other resignations too. You know,
one we have found that is fake.
Yes, I'm coming there.
Okay.
So we thought that the Minister of Power joined,
and they said he joined. Though.
And we were waiting for him.
We have reacted.
We have reacted now. Yes.
But he didn't join, according to this report.
It's still very
pending.
Nigerians are just facing this. They are ready for it.
Beside every rumor, there might be maybe you want to do his own later on.
Okay.
Where the other
orders on hold.
Was it not 31st?
Yes.
31st was the deadline.
Yes.
Lower ranking
Yesterday.
appointees and heads of agencies also resigned. So we have the Federal Mortgage Bank chairman resign. He wants to run for Kano. He has political ambitions in Kano. Abdrazak Namdas also stepped down from the governing board member of the Niger Delta Development Commission. he too has governorship ambition in Adamawa. Nasir Jaoji, senior special assistant to the president.
Why did they wait till the last
citizenship.
minute, though?
So the president had followed the constitution that
Should I not?
yes,
Permutations and calculations.
Our Electoral Act, Section 88 sub 1, requires political appointees with interests to resign and go and face their political ambitions. So
and you don't want to lose one before
you're now sure if they are.
no, but I'm sure they would have done.
They have to
Follow your heart and your passion.
This one, no,
I
passion
took a
and
very short story from CBN. CBN has mandated all banks, that's all money deposit banks, they have over the next 3 weeks to conduct a cybersecurity self-assessment test. And then all other financially regulated institutions have 5 weeks to conduct their cybersecurity self-assessment test. And this is, they say, in line with the 2020 Banks and Other Financial Institutions Act, and it is a broader commitment to improving cybersecurity standards in the sector. They said statistically, about 70% of staff of financial institutions are contract staff, and they are a bit culpable to, they are susceptible to influences and collusion for financial malpractice. So this test is going to be a regular one that they would have to do within themselves to be sure that they have everything necessary concerning cybersecurity within the financial institution.
All right, let's move on now to the Daily Sun. Knocks kudos as Senate okays Tinubu's 9 trillion budget hike request. Federal government seeks tougher action on $88 billion annual financial leakages. Afrexim Bank leads $4 billion loan deal to strengthen Dangote refinery. Defense headquarters confident US-Nigeria military collaboration will boost security. Mba okays promotion conversion of 2,114 civil servants. El-Rufai returns to ICPC cell after mom's burial, and JAMB releases 2026 mock UTME results, deletes 20 CBT centers. So I have the JAMB story. So the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board, JAMB, has released the result of this year's Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination. That's the mock that they had taken, which was conducted on the March 28th. The board's public communication advisor, Fabian Benjamin, said that candidates can check their results by sending mock results via SMS to 55019 or 66019 using the phone number registered for the year's UTME. So it announced that 224,597 candidates registered for the mock examination, with 152,558 successfully participating in the exams. And the exercise was conducted across 989 computer-based test centers nationwide. And he said over 20 centers that faced technical challenges during the exercises have been delisted. So he's warning candidates against falling prey to individuals who are promising that they're going to inflate the results for them. If you are caught, your results are cancelled, you are delisted, and you will not be able to get any form of results. So people should just read, write their exams, and pass. So congratulations.
So congratulations I know that. Let's just continue congratulating the people. So civil servants in Enugu State, congratulations to about 2,114 of them who took part in the 2025 November-December 2025 promotion and conversion exercises conducted within the state. And according to the chairman, Enugu State Civil Service Commission, he confirms that these promotions are in order. The governor has recently approved the release of their promotion and conversion of all of them who participated in the exam, 2,114 of them, and it is with immediate effect. So their salaries and financial benefits are with immediate effect. And the state also has increased their minimum wage from 70 to 80,000. And so the governor, is adding that to some of his achievements, and this will reflect in. So you see everybody just jubilate and be happy within the civil service. So congratulations to the hardworking civil servants of Enugu State.
Defense headquarters has expressed confidence that the ongoing collaboration between the Nigerian military and U.S. troops will lead to noticeable improvements in the country's security in the coming weeks. We have the Director of Defense Media Operations, Major General Noja. He said that U.S. troops arrived in Nigeria February 15th to support the armed forces. He acknowledged that insecurity persisted in several parts of the country, raising concerns about the effectiveness of the collaboration. He, however, emphasized that the partnership focused on intelligence sharing, operational training to strengthen Nigeria's military capacity. He said that certain details of the this collaboration is confidential because, you know, this is sensitive. But he emphasized that this U.S. assistance was significant, and then that it was done on favorable terms. And, you know, it will help how our armed forces respond to emerging threats. So we have high hopes for this collaboration. We think it will go a long way in helping us as we fight all the things we are fighting: insurgency, terrorism, banditry, insecurity, everything.
Okay.
Yeah, so I found a story in the paper that I felt was very interesting. It's a story about the Lagos CP withdrawing the task force, the Lagos State Environment Sanitation Special Offences Unit Task Force, from traffic control and enforcement duties across the state. So they will still, this task force will still be carrying out support duties for the environment, sanitation and special offense, but they are no longer on the road. They are, you know, I take the story about last week when they said directive had gone out all through that. A lot of these task forces, task force units are taking needed manpower away from the general police force into some units. So now they want to reduce having police people on the road conducting traffic. Especially since most states already have, like in Lagos, we have last mile. Many states have traffic agencies. The traffic agencies should be the one to conduct traffic. Police officers should be doing the work of police, and I think it is a very good move.
Our final paper for today, Nigerian Tribune. We have Plateau killings, affront to all Nigerians stands for Tinubu. National Assembly passes 68.323 trillion 2026 budget. We have here court orders final forfeiture of UK house linked to Jeremiah Oseni. Troops arrest 16 logistics suppliers, other bandits in Northeast. Federal government unveils new standard for fairly used vehicles, says no certification, no entry. We've taken the Afrexim Bank story. And finally, scientists create device that warns of approaching heart attack. Which scientists?
Okay, so the specialists from the Southern Federal University, somewhere abroad, and their advanced engineering school have addressed the situation of heart attack, sudden cardiac arrest, and all of that by creating a physical activity cardiac recorder. This device is a hardware and software system that assesses deviation from an individual's normal physiological state. And the head of the department and radio receiver system at the university stated that this device, similar in appearance to a compact fitness tracker, maybe that time, continuously records physiological indicators and transmits them to a smartphone via Bluetooth, and, you know, can warn of an impending heart attack and reduce you know, the activity, so that the person can take care immediately, you know, whether to continue or, you know, to rest. So it's a good one. It's innovative.
You know what the question we ask here? How affordable is it?
No, after a while,
it will crash, it will come down. Market forces will handle it.
Respond.
We have a special feature from Indomie. This Mother's Day, Indomie celebrated moms like never before. Their Show Some Love to Mom 2026 campaign used AI to create personalized praise poetry in Nigerian languages and English. Joining us is Temi Tokwe Sule, brand manager at Indomie Nigeria, to share how culture and technology came together to honor moms across the country. Welcome to the show, Temi.
Thank you.
Temi Tokwe.
Thank you so much.
So what really inspired this campaign that you decided to carry out for Mother's Day?
So, you know, for us at Indomie, moms are very special to us. Moms are very precious to us, yes. So, at the core of what we do, we try to always also put the moms at the forefront.
Okay.
So, every Mother's Day, we always think of ways we can celebrate moms in ways that they would appreciate. And beyond the way they are usually celebrated, in the best ways that they want to be celebrated. So for us this year, you know, there's also the conversation around innovation, AI. We decided to put culture at the forefront of the celebration for mothers this year. Okay. And I would say we didn't do something that was out of this world. We just tapped into what was already existing, what moms already appreciated. We just got insight from that, and we just placed the branding in that. That was how it.
I was going to ask whether it's ever been done before, the way you did it. Has this ever been done anywhere? Is there
No. So it's first time, it's the first AI-powered cultural praise poetry to be done in Africa. Yes. So people do some celebrations for mothers through using of AI, through culture, but what we did was we brought AI and culture together to create something that was very magical.
Okay, so I guess the next question is if you could walk us through what you actually did.
Okay. Yeah, so what we did was we created an AI-powered platform, show some love to mom.com.
Okay.
Indomie.ng, yeah, we were even trending organically on Twitter as well. So we created an AI-powered platform where people would come, they would impute their names, the names of their mom, and they will impute a special memory they have with their mom.
Okay.
Then they would also upload pictures of their moms that they want. Yeah. So the platform will automatically, based on the memories that they had put, the platform will pick some emotions and sentiments and create personalized praise poetry in any language of their choice. So we had Oriki for Yoruba, we had chanting in Igbo, we also had Hausa, then we had Pidgin English as well. Then so that we can also strike a balance, we also had English language as well. Okay. So people could have the choice to choose whichever one they want, and it was hyper personalization was part of what we also used.
Hyper personalization.
So we made it very, very personalized. So 5 of us can be here, and we will get different audio outputs, even if we put in the same messaging.
Same
yes.
prompting.
Yes, the same prompting. Yes.
So in my head, I'm just wondering, what was the reaction to this? How did people receive it, and how engaged were people in this campaign?
Yeah, so it was really good and really impressive. I would say in 3 days we already reached over 3 million people.
Wow.
In just 3 days. We had I think it was the first week, because we started the campaign before Mother's Day so that the boss can start already. So we already had over 500,000 people come to the platform. Yeah, so we saw moms cry actually. Aww. So part of what we did was we told people to, because we also wanted to see what the reactions would be like. So we also said, we would also send personalized gift boxes to you if you send maybe your mother's reaction online. So people were even sharing it organically. On Twitter, there was a lot of conversation around it. People were taking screenshots of their mom's response, praying for them. So we saw some videos that moms were even crying. You know, it's just like when people celebrate their birthdays and they take these chanters to them, and when they are praying for them. So that was actually what we just replicated. So when they in the Oriki, they are praising the mom, they are praying for the mom, thanking her for how she had also invested in the children, all the sacrifices.
Unconditional love and all those kind of things.
Yes, so it was really, people were crying, people were sharing. There was even a consumer behavior where people were also using the platform to create personalized poetry for birthdays.
So it's become like a trend now.
Yes.
That's amazing. What do you think this says as a brand? What does this say about Indomie as a brand?
Yes.
Your ability to create something that is emotional and connects to not just your consumers, but to their mothers as well. What do you think it says about your brand?
So for us, what it just does for us is we always say that Indomie is a legacy brand.
Okay.
And being a legacy brand comes with a lot of expectations and heritage. But being a legacy brand as well, we also need to know that we need to always be innovative. So most of the time when you say a brand is a legacy brand, people think of the brand as being an outdated brand. But for us in Indomie, we're a legacy brand, but we're still on top of our game when it comes to innovation. We're still leading the pack when it comes to thinking of new ways for us to do things. So it just also shows that we're also in tune with how the reality of moms today, how do they want to be celebrated. I can say if this was done maybe some years back, it probably would not have resonated.
Like
because,
this?
Yes, like this. But with the advent of AI, you see a lot of people, what people do with AI on social media. So we just also tapped into that culture, that behavior of people to give them something that they would be used to. And I think it was a big plus for us and a big win for us as a brand as well.
But what did you learn? So because whenever companies do things, it's to like, okay, you've gotten feedback. So what were the lessons you learned about your customers, about their interaction, and even about your brand?
Yeah, so part of what we learned was that the campaign did not only go viral, it went very, very personal. So it was very personal to people. And we also learned that culture, you can't take away the place of culture. Even with innovation, with AI, once you put culture at the forefront, all of this technology that we have should actually be drivers for culture. It should not overtake culture. They should not overshine or overshadow culture. So those were the learnings for it. And as a brand, we've also began to go the cultural direction in terms of communicating with our consumers.
Okay.
Speaking to people in our local dialects. We have some TVCs, we have some billboards that are in local languages, different parts of the country. So it just shows that we are also taking our learnings, building on what we are also observing and in terms of consumer behavior and upscaling.
Okay, so let's talk about some of your other campaigns that you have with Indomie.
Yes.
Do you want to talk about
that? So for this year, so far we've done the Mother's Day campaign. Last year we had the Season to Show Some Love, which was a Christmas campaign. It was also very big for us. We also had a campaign last year. The last year was a 7-day fun fair at the NBC Kano Park. We had thousands of people trooping every day. Where we also had, I don't think it has also ever been done before. We had a Santa Claus on a cat and a horse moving around Lagos, giving out gift items. So you can see that we keep doing things that are very innovative when we do our campaigns. Also last year, we also had a campaign that was Show Some Love to Mom also, but that was also, we used influencers to celebrate moms. So you go on the platform, you just impute your mother's name. So we had 3 influencers that would now pass a message to your mom. So even moms were also...
Was Tao included? Because I saw Tao and Kodri.
Okay, on this one, yeah. So for this one that we did, we used Taoma, we used Stanenze, we used Wiri Pikin, then we had over 100 nano influencers and creators, just creating content out of it. So the reason why we went that direction for this one, because you mentioned Tao was... Taoma was more of the influencer that was speaking Yoruba. So what she did was to speak Yoruba in her own video. Yes, Stanenze was the Igbo, was represented. Wiri Pikin represented she used Pidgin English. So those were the directions.
Official language.
Yeah, so it was not a superficial campaign. It was, we really went very in depth to the grassroots. Yes,
amazing. What surprises we'll be expecting, since you seem to just
innovation
new and innovative ideas? Is there anything you should be looking forward to?
Yeah, I would say you should look forward to us also leading the pack in terms of use of technology, in terms of our campaigns that we do. Very recently, we won Legacy Brand of the Year in one of the most prestigious marketing awards in Nigeria. We also won Digital and Social Media Campaign of the Year. We also came second in our Brand of the Year. We also came second in Consumer Promo of the Year. So you can see that we won't stop as Indomie. We will continue.
Packing all the awards.
We are packing the awards, yes. So there's something about us at Indomie, how we work. We see ourselves as fighters. So we're always trying to think of new ideas, new ways to do things. We're not trying to rest on what has already been done. Everybody already knows Indomie.
Let's just chill.
I can say that, if we don't do anything for 1 year, you will still remember Indomie. But we need to constantly do things so that consumers we can connect better with consumers and they won't just forget us maybe in the next 20 years. If
I'm guessing that's your own way of also showing appreciation.
Yes, we can, because customers have made us who we are. That's our way.
Amazing. Yes. Thank you so much, Temitope Sule. We've been talking with the brand manager, Indomie Nigeria. Temitope Sule. Thank you so much. Wish Indomie all the best, and we look forward to more innovations from Indomie as a group. According to a cleric, before a child takes his first step, before it speaks his first word, something unseen, something forgotten is already shaping his destiny. A claim now stirring strong reactions. And according to the story, they said the pastor said the way a child's placenta is handled can determine the child's future. According to him, burying it, giving it to animals, or hanging it on a tree could bring negative outcomes. But setting it ablaze with prayers and anointing oil is the right way. While some believers see this as deep spiritual wisdom passed down through faith, others are raising serious concerns, questioning the lack of medical backing and warning against practices that may fuel fear, myths, and misinformation around childbirth. So ladies, do you agree with this pastor or do you disagree? Where do you draw the line between faith and facts? And want our viewers to join the conversation and call us on 02016352013 or 09024163440, or Twitter us at TVC Connect using the hashtag YourViewTVC. So if you have gone to bury the placenta of your child, What did you do with the placenta of your children?
Not on national television.
You don't know how?
African tradition, we buried it.
Oh, you buried?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, you said not on national television.
No, we can share our story now.
What did you
Okay,
do?
like
What
it's
did
not something that
you know
some Igbo they cook
they
their own
say
chop.
some they say they eat.
And that one
I
person
don't
put
know
up
what
outside.
happened with my kids, and I know my mom
You didn't ask.
Oh, your own mom took
my
over.
mom took the placenta, and I just felt, since it's my mom, I don't need to worry my head about it. I didn't, but I have a feeling that culturally it is buried. You see, as someone that grew up in a CNS church, so
Okay. Tell us.
I'm from a white garment church. We were the anointing oil, fetch well water, go and wash your head at the
Handkerchief
sea.
things.
You know, use handkerchief, burn 7 candles over 7
Incense.
days. You know, use your incense around the entire house, anoint the door.
cleansing.
Like, there are many doctrines that I grew up seeing being done.
Rituals.
And when I read the Bible, for myself, in my personal relationship with God, I realized that they were doctrinal activities. They were actual activities that were maybe personal instruction for different people per time, and they were now turned into
General.
religion. It was not like a duty, something that you must do. But it wasn't. It's not like it's based on the Bible. It's a personal revelation. There are scriptural references where Jesus spat on mud and put it on. It didn't become a template for every miracle that if you want to open eye, you go and look for mud, spit into the mud and rub on the eye. So, you know, there's some things that are personal. Maybe for a child, an instruction, you had it in your spirit, or something happened to you and you felt, burn this instead of, and that's because, the way the message came to you, or the revelation came to you, was because of the child's destiny. That it shouldn't be buried, it should be burnt.
Okay.
It doesn't become the template for everybody. It doesn't mean whatever that person is doing is wrong. Besides, we are, as Christians, we are inside on the new covenant. There is nothing anybody can do anywhere. We are under grace. So I'm very wary of pastors that turn one specific situation into a rule and a doctrine and just make it look like every other person is not doing anything right. This is the only way. Any other thing you're doing is wrong. So I feel like, gosh, I don't like to be on this space, because it waters down the power that this spiritual journey of Christianity should have when we turn to things like this. Let's focus on meat, not milk.
Okay. So for me, I don't know what happened. I gave birth to my children in the hospital, and I'm sure the hospital handled it how it has always handled it. But after I had my babies, it now became quite popular for you to hear about people getting their placenta, cooking their placenta, eating it, encapsulating it, you know, donating it for all sorts of things. And I was like, if only I knew, I would have really loved to have done one of those. I would not cook it and eat it, though. I don't think so. But because they talk about many benefits, can I read a few of the benefits I've heard? So they say for medical donations, placentas can be donated to tissue banks to assist with wound care and burn treatments, eye surgeries, reconstructive surgeries, and then as placenta encapsulation, the placenta is dehydrated, ground into powder, then put into capsules, and they say that it helps reduce the risk of postpartum depression and, you know, replenish iron levels and boost energy, increase milk supply. Then there's stem cell harvesting, placenta blood and tissue can be banked for the stem cells they contain, which can be used in regenerative medicine. You know, so many other things. And I thought, I would have really loved to have contribute, even not for myself, but contributed, because I'm covered. As you said, we were born under the covering already. If I look at my own generation, like back to back, my great-grandmother was already a Christian. So for me, I come from generations of people who have given their lives to Christ. They live under the anointing. So I really don't have any ancestral spirits that I'm dealing with. My great-grandmother and her, they have dealt with that. So this is where I am today. That's it.
For you.
I'm covered by the blood of Jesus.
Are you trying to call names now?
The fire of the Holy Ghost consumes me.
We have ancestral things.
I wanted to be careful on this matter, because I'm looking at the pastor and thinking, you want to burn the placenta? Are you African? Because we all know the placenta is called Ikejiomo. It is called the second of, it's your ancestral tie. It's like something, you know, we give it a lot of myth. And I read all of that. So when I had my babies, they will keep my placenta till my in-laws come at their property. Wherever your family, whatever they do, they take the placenta of my babies. And fortunately, unlike Miro, my babies were in a government hospital here in Nigeria.
So they'll give it to you?
We keep it.
They give it to us.
I sat with my sister during an evacuation. I held the placenta till her husband came. Okay. Based on normal belief. But as a Muslim, we have no beliefs whatsoever in how it is disposed. It's just supposed to be just as a body part, like any cancerous tissue removed
that comes out,
that you take care of.
Like waste.
It's either you give it to the hospital, you bury it, dispose of it. That's what it said neatly. There's no tie whatsoever with it and your kadar. Kadar is entirely, that's your destiny.
Yeah, kadar.
Is entirely designed by God. And only a prayer-worthy Muslim can desire a certain destiny and ask of it through prayer and can be changed. Nothing, no ties. But as an African, it has never crossed this, with all that we have said along our religions, it never crossed my mind to think that an African would find it worthy to burn placenta. They lay them to rest, na part of
you bury.
You know, medically, whatever sciences has taught us, they lay it. You born and they cook and shop, but we lay it back to earth, and so I'm shocked.
The burning is now an option.
You go burn them. So what happens? You know, the other day myself and Waike were having a conversation about what's it called? This method of cremation.
Cremation,
She shocked me because Waike, as a traditional African, believes in cremation. And I say, well, it's like at this point, our friendship
you're questioning
to question it because I cannot imagine my loved one dead being cremated. It doesn't sit well with me. But every day we hear new things. But I'm wondering, since it doesn't have biblical foundation, as you have all confirmed, what was working in pastor's head? He thought we should be burning our placenta. Even those midwives in just when you are going to sign, your husband should come and sign. Family relative, somebody will be on standby to receive placenta in Nigerian hospitals. I've not seen
anybody that somebody. Where did they keep my children? Because I don't know.
Did you sign anything?
No, I didn't
remember that.
Mine.
And now all of a sudden I'm feeling like I already did a mistake.
My late father, God bless him, God rest his soul, received my baby's placentas. As soon as he comes, they will put it in a package. As soon as he comes in the morning, it is respect to deal with, just as it's also is respect to name and arrange certain things. And my own is to carry my piking. Carry my piking and I move on.
At the end of the day, as a woman who just gave birth, are you going to be thinking, like, you just finished pushing or doing
placenta, I don't want to look for that placenta.
Will you be thinking of, okay, where's my baby's placenta? Like, you can't, so it's usually your... The person that is staying with you, maybe your husband. Handles. In my own case, was my mom that handled it. And even my mom said, I have a very faint recollection, but I know she gave it to my dad, and I have a strong feeling that it was buried, and that was what they did because that's our culture. But for me, I would like when we come back, I'll talk about the fear. Pastors that preach on fear, I feel that it makes you feel important when every other person is scared to even access God, and we all have access.
Still discussing about this placenta issue, where a pastor was advising that it's best to burn the placenta instead of burn it with anointing oil, and pray over it instead of burying it. That this is like the best thing to do about the placenta, and we try to share some of our experiences. I personally don't remember seeing any form of placenta anywhere. I did not ask I didn't have the I didn't even have the mindset to know whether I should ask for that. But I know that anytime I'm birthing, my mother-in-law and my husband are usually there, so I would assume that she handled all of that because I didn't have that conversation. It was after we started hearing some of the benefits, studying and seeing some of the amazing benefits you can get with the placenta, that I was not thinking, I should have asked for this thing. Maybe I would have been using it for this, my anti-aging things now that I'm doing up and down. For me as well, placenta never came up in the conversations, antenatal, whatever, all those things. It never came up. Even with my mom being a nurse, I don't remember us having that conversation. And even if I had someone with me, my mom was there for my first delivery, my husband second. Even if there was someone who handled it, it would be important conversation to have because I have children, and if I'm there for them, how would I be there for them if I don't know what the tradition is or what is meant to do? So I really like that we're having this conversation, but not on the fear factor, on the benefits and, what we would like to do as a family. I would really like for my daughter to make a conscious decision of donating to help people who
you know, have
modern
issues. And I
science.
think, and I feel that is where we should go with conversations like this. Instead of instilling fear in people, like, how can we help humanity? What is it that God has blessed us with as a gift that can help someone else? I think that's how I want to think about this placenta, other than
just the
fear of your star dying.
So,
let me take Fumi and I'll come to you. Have a caller from Ogun State. Fumi, are you there?
Good morning, ladies.
Good morning. We can't hear you. We need volume in the studio.
Okay. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning, Fumi.
The issue of placenta. Ever since it was laid down to us that when you birth, your husband will go and bury the placenta. In fact, Yoruba say that that is, immediately you give birth, you are supposed to bury the placenta. That is what we were made to believe.
Okay.
But this new issue of the pastor, I don't really know. Because I don't really understand what is going on. But that is
the history.
In Yoruba land, that is our own tradition.
Yeah.
And we are not so careless. We are not expected to be careless with the placenta. Because of the myth around the placenta. You know, African myth and all those things. There have been issues of people that are careless with the placenta of the children, leading to some problems. So as a result of that, either your mother, your husband, or anybody that stays with you when you give birth, will guide the placenta jealously. They guide it jealously and make sure they bury it.
Please, what are some of these myths? I don't know if you could share with us.
Okay.
One of the myths is that they can use it for money ritual or anything.
Yes.
Okay.
That is, they can use it for money ritual
evil eye,
or use it for any evil act.
Okay.
So that is why our mother and our husband, they guide it jealously. So they make sure they bury it. So the issue of this pastor, I don't really understand what is going on. Because
thank you so much, Fumi. I have some cultures around the world here. We have New Zealand, we have the Caribbeans, we have the Yoruba land, we have the Igbo land, and all the things I'm saying here is that they usually bury the placenta. That's the right thing to do, so that it's like a sacred link between the child and their homeland.
There's also
that's
another
like the
myth,
ongoing
African
tradition.
myth.
So if they give
over
birth
the
to you
years.
abroad,
There's also
And you can't, your garden in the house, at least.
no, if they give birth to you,
If you're living in
a block of flats.
live block of flats.
What I'm saying. People that travel to have babies and then bring them back. If it's supposed to be the
Connection to Earth.
connection to your
basically.
land.
Yes. If you're not in
So
your
that
land,
means whether you
labeled
like it or not,
placenta
to take you
medical
back
and
to
travel back.
where you have gone.
No,
Really,
travel
think
back
about
with it
it, because there must be a thought that for
Connection to Mother
our
Earth.
ancestors, like how they thought about it.
Yes.
It
No.
could-
You know that the placenta nurtured the baby.
Yes.
Obviously, we all know. So there's the
There's
way
a
the
connect.
culture sees it is that if I hold the placenta, I've held on to the child. So if you don't protect the placenta, evil powers can use the placenta to take over
Against
the
the
child's
child,
life
Yeah.
and sort of like rob the child of the child's destiny and steal the child's future.
So that
And
is
there
the
will be
pastor saying the
misfortune.
right thing.
That's culture. So when you bring culture on
and
the
Christianity
pulpit,
and mix it.
that for me is polluting the message.
But he brought
necessarily,
culture, he
man.
now added fear. Our
Yes.
culture brought it, there's also honor. I know of the traditional belief of using the placenta for infertile women
I've
to
heard that.
birth children, because I said it happened to my niece, she's balling, nothing to me.
How does that
My
work?
younger cousin, she's not my niece. She's balling. So I explained the story now how my auntie took the placenta of our wife, and you know, when the woman eye clear, she kept asking where was the baby's placenta. Nobody wanted to answer, and then fast forward 3 months into the birth of the child, it came out that she gave her friend who's been married for 20 years and didn't have a child. And so the wife was worried, and my father just prayed and said, this is not Islam, let it go. And the girl till today, whatever, I think maybe it was made into a
And did the
concussion.
person have a child? I just want to hear.
No, I never found out. My auntie's late now. But that is aside. Then, you know,
Let me hold you. I'll
beyond-
come back to you, Nima. We have Suleiman from Abuja. Suleiman, are you there?
I'm here.
Good morning.
Good morning, ma.
Good morning.
Good morning.
You're live.
Thank you. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, I really want to understand we were told that we might be burying destiny. We burying the placenta, it will be that we are burying a destiny. So where did they expect us? Where did they want us to do with the placenta?
They say you burn it with anointing
They say
oil.
she burn it now.
We should burn it with the anointing oil. Is that the way?
That's
what he suggested. Yeah.
Is it hygienic?
That's a good question.
Is it ideal? Is it ideal or is it spiritual? Does it have any spiritual implication?
He said that the destiny of the child will be preserved.
When you burn it. When you burn the destiny.
The destiny of the child will be preserved.
That's according to
the pastor.
Okay,
if you don't burn it, some children's destinies would get warped before they are even able to walk.
Okay.
Plenty questions.
Thank you, Suleiman.
So I remember when I had my first child, my mom had lectured me on all tradition. In my tradition, according to my mom, she is the in-law. And when my child is there, she doesn't want to be the first. She's not supposed to be the first to take the child. So my mom, even when she's with you in the hospital, when your child comes and the matron brings the baby, she'll say, wait, let the father's people come.
Oh.
You know, particularly my mother-in-law. And so we waited till morning because I had my daughter at 9:30 something in the night. And she said,
and your mommy didn't hold the baby?
Matron, she just prayed over the baby and waited.
Wow.
So the placenta as well. And then the umbilical cord is also processed into dry cloth to help with the nurturing of the cord to healing. And so they'll put it on a lantern, they process it, they put all these spices that we use for cooking. That was what was added. All these ones we use for pepper soup, those pepper soup spices.
Yeah. All those things.
And then they'll put it every day. She bought a lantern, I don't know where she generated one from. Suddenly then it was every morning put it. And once the baby has had a bath, we'll put it on till the baby healed at our umbilical cord. And that particular part she also said, was not to be disposed. But Nima forgot. I threw it one place.
And the
I'm telling you,
when it falls off.
No, this one after the clip, after it's falling off the clip, they'll add it to a cloth, usually a white handkerchief or material, and you burn it every morning on the lantern and heal the baby's umbilical, the navel areas.
Yeah.
And so we're treating it like that. And I was instructed when he's done, the baby is healed, give it to your in-laws to add to wherever the placenta went.
Oh, okay.
Now so Nima lost some.
So
let me take a call and I'll come to you. We have Ade Ajayi from Songo. Are you there?
Yeah. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Hello?
We can hear you loud and clear, sir.
Yeah. Good morning. Yes. I just want to be part of this discussion.
Go ahead.
You see, this placenta is is a vital thing in human being's life.
Okay.
In Yoruba land, they call it Ibiomo. It is second, the one that comes after any birth of any child. It's so important in anybody's life. In the olden days, they always bury the placenta, especially those people that have family house or you have your house.
Okay. And
it's so important that when they bury it, either the parents or the grandparents, they know exactly where it is buried.
Okay.
If they want to even pray for their child, they go to where they bury the placenta and pray, or want to do otherwise. And that is why anybody that travels, if that person doesn't want to come back, they go to where they bury the placenta
and call the person back.
Oh, so a lot of things happen. People are just joking with it.
I told you.
It's so important in the Yoruba land that placenta is something you cannot even joke with. It's something you have to keep very well. If you are unfortunate, the placenta gets to your enemy's hands. Hey, that child, believe me, they can be causing that placenta every day. They can do everything. They do ritual with a lot of things. And that is why I'm afraid with people that left the placenta of their children in the hands of the hospital, because people go there to buy it. So in fact, we have to be very, very careful.
Ade, let me ask you, do you think it's better to burn it now, from what this pastor has said?
Believe me, if you don't have your own home or where you can, because you can live anywhere that you bury it if it's not your house.
Okay.
So it's better to be born, because look at India now, they bury their dead people. I think when you bury, nobody can do anything against it.
When you burn.
Yes, you can burn now.
Yes, okay. So people are looking at the Bible. I'm a Christian.
Okay.
Good Christian. I went to Bible school. Look, so there are some things that is traditional. And even Jesus said, what is traditional? What you need to do in your area, do it. So the thing is that we are just mixing things, things together in this world. Do the right thing, because the world is evil. Keep the future of your children.
So I wanted to say before, I was saying earlier, I was trying to, for those, we've always had this thing where Nigerians travel abroad to have their children. And then you come back, your placenta, the child's placenta is there. Is that not the spiritual reason why people are jackwaring up and down? Exactly. So you're going back, it's calling them back. But, I'm saying, for me, I don't understand the burning. But obviously, after our last caller, maybe to protect it from evil hands. Because I'm saying this is something that has nurtured your child, yourself and your child, kept you alive, kept the child alive while he was there. I think it's important that it is treated with some decency. And so for me, I think it's best if we can get some people from the hospital to call us and tell us what Nigerian hospitals do with the placenta. Do they donate it for medicine, science, or do they bury it, or do they would they just trash it and put it in the bin like that? For it
They medical waste.
It's medical waste.
See, I am of the opinion.
It will be organic waste, and I know that with organic waste, if it's the hospital, they'll treat it like all the other organic waste that
Which hospitals do organic waste now? Is it? Are you using
we've always had? There's always waste now that comes from the hospital, and if it's organic, it's something that they either bury, or even if the waste removal people come to take it off, it will be sent off to the waste disposal place where it will decay naturally anyway. So it's gone. It's fine as long as it's not that the hospitals are carrying it to a babalao's house who is praying over it. That's my point.
You see what the last caller said is something that has been repeated, and I think sometimes that's why you see watching all these Nollywood Yoruba movies, they sell you these stories. Because have I ever seen anybody that is selling the placenta? No. But I've watched movies where they say it over and over again that if you don't collect your placenta from the hospital, they will sell it to other people. They use it for money rituals. They use it to have children, rituals to have children.
Imagine what we sell our own.
The sad thing is that if they use my children's own, there's poverty that will chase them because we are covered by the blood of Jesus.
So there are so many things they say they use it for, all speculations based in fear. And to hear a Christian say, I went to Bible school, and yet you are saying something that promotes fear, is that you have so believed in your culture that you don't realize that you are in a new covenant, which for me is why I disagree with the pastor, because you cannot and should not be promoting fear. We people cannot live in fear of the fact that, so they will not do deliverance. Watch me. They will call a deliverance for all of those that do not know where their placenta is.
No, I'm trying to get what you are saying now.
You will not come to church to pray that whatever evil was done with your placenta, you are dissolving those evil. Everything is just around ministry of fear, because ministry of fear is a profitable ministry. Because you will always come back to meet the person. I had a dream. I saw my placenta being held. They will pray for you and then you drop offering. So there's the ministry of fear is a ministry that we as Christians.
No, it's not an issue of fear here.
It's issue of fear. He said that if you're not careful of your placenta, what is happening to the placenta, the child's destiny is already destroyed before the child is even walking. So it is a message to people to be scared of what has happened to your placenta. And I don't know that.
Or it is another, until this happened, I did not really care for placenta. The only reason I started caring for what will happen to the placenta is because of the scientific innovations that we have now. But if we as a people, Africans or Nigerians, we have certain beliefs of what our placenta can do or cannot do, I don't think it's necessarily about fear.
What he said.
Yes, but also it's another way for us to pay attention. you know, this is actually part of our bodies. You know, we should pay attention to what we can do with it or what it can do for us instead of making it just like we throw it away. And I don't like yes, Christianity is important, but we also come from a place. And sometimes I feel that when we don't pay attention or we don't know our history concerning why some things are done, we throw it away and then lose the benefits that could have come to us. So yes, so sorry, I know you have to go. So what will happen is, because we don't know the history of or the impact, what happens is that someone can sell us fear. But if we know the history, we know the impact, we know the benefits, then someone cannot use religion to sell us fear, because we know that it is not about our destiny if we do properly bury it or properly dispose of it.
We'll take a short break here. When I come back, I have a question for Tokwe, because I really want to understand how, because we are Christians now, we will not allow ourselves to be careless because we believe that the blood of Jesus covers us. Many of them believed in burying because there's this ancestral link, sacred link, you know, to the child, destiny and all of that. And I wanted to ask a question. You know, we had a caller who talked about if you were probably abroad or something, because you don't have or you're not in your own house, maybe you're a tenant, it's not your home. So it's advisable that you can burn so that nothing can touch it. But if you're in your home, your homeland, you can now bury, because that's where your home is. And you know, Tokwe had talked about fear, and I know from the pastor's first statement on the placenta issue, the first thing you hear is fear of what the enemy can do, yes, even though you have Jesus. And I wanted us to understand certain things. The culture we have today, the Christianity or the Islam, you know, the religion we have today, the people who formed it infused their culture into that. Yes, if you read the history of how religion started.
Allegedly, according to you.
Yeah, if you read the history of how religion started,
know, but
yes, allegedly.
Christianity, we believe that it came straight from heaven. Yeah. So if you say it had culture, that's according.
We are playing if we believe it came straight from heaven, because it was formed by people and it infused their culture. And that's why even in those religions, you see there are different sects and different aspects of those religions that have their different doctrines. True. So because you infuse, the Roman Catholics have a different, hold on, let me finish what I'm saying. The Roman Catholic will have a different, way they do their Christianity. The Anglicans have, the Pentecostals have, do you understand? It's an infusion of culture. So the question I wanted to ask Tokwe is, are you saying we should now be careless with how we handle our affairs because we believe that Jesus has saved us? Or there are certain things that we must still do to preserve it. It's not, you're not doing it from a place of fear, but you're doing it from a place of, like you rightly said, honor. Placenta is something that we can honor, we can give a form of respect. It did his job. He did his job. Should we just cast it away and feel nothing can happen because I am now a Christian and Jesus Christ solves everything? Or should we still have a way of doing our own things while still honoring our Jesus?
So there's a difference between religion and spirituality. And when we give examples of different sects, it is the sect's doctrine that has infused culture, and those cultural influences have brought pollution to the spiritual journey that every individual should have with God. That, for me, is the problem. So I grew up in CNS. CNS infused our culture into Christianity. Roman Catholics infused their own culture into their own form of Christianity. They are Seventh-day Adventists. Everybody has different. Too. But for me, it is the spiritual journey. Is personal, and it is that I'm concerned about. So when everybody does interpretation of how we culturally bury, there's nothing wrong, but we also know that there are cultures that we've seen did not serve us, cultures that stemmed out of ignorance and fear, culture that would vaginally mutilate women as a way to prevent promiscuity. And that was a culture that had, like, it was defined. People felt that this made sense, that a woman can become promiscuous, so let us do circumcision for the woman to prevent promiscuity. That is culture.
That's
culture
a different thing.
At some point in time, I'm telling you, we're talking about culture and how we must question culture. Even religious doctrines must be questioned. Even the Bible asked us to question leaders that are giving you opinions.
And I think
giving you opinions. So that is why I feel strongly that we should be careful of how we adopt culture without questioning what the culture is doing for us. So when Mariam was saying that this is a conversation starter, so that we can can understand the impact and decide if it aligns. But in the same Bible, we saw that, okay, you cannot eat unclean food. And then later they said everything is now lawful, but it is not expedient. So we must understand
you can
personally.
Eat everything now with gratitude.
Personally, your personal journey, and it's a spiritual one. But anybody preaching fear is not biblical, because our journey is a faith-based journey, not a fear-based journey. So if you are scared that if somebody would attack me spiritually, even after I've given my life to Christ and I have God, that means you don't believe greater is he that is in you than he that is in the world. No power can come.
We have to take a call now. Engineer Peter, I disagree with you, but let's take this call.
Pastor Tope.
Engineer Peter, are you there? Good morning.
Hello, good morning. Good morning. I really enjoy your program this morning.
Thank you.
What I want to come in is, like the last person that made call that said is a pastor and this that they use Placenta to bring people from abroad or this. In the olden days, you know, every family were together. And I want us to know that during that time, even if someone give birth, even the father of that person will go and take the placenta and use it, maybe plant it and do the right thing. But now, right now, most of us are no more together. If some people travel abroad to give birth, if they ask the placenta from the doctor so that they will go and plant it in their house.
And plant it.
Do you understand? No. But some people say they use placenta. People don't need this now. With religion that is turning things upside down, people don't need your placenta to before they can do evil. We are only covered by the grace of God. And the other thing right now is that if you keep money, if you keep money in a particular place and without informing people, who is going to know where you put the money? Nobody. The same thing as the placenta. If you plant placenta, it's just for it to decay and die is all. And now normally it's right. It's just because of the evil mind that we have in this our part of the country that we believe, yes, they will use it against you. And once to give birth and you are being given the placenta, the best thing is just to go and plant it somewhere. Then it will decay and that is all.
So you don't believe in burning it, Abi? We should not burn it.
I do not try to burn it because you should leave it down. Normally the spiritual about it is that if you leave it down without burying it within some hours.
Can barely hear you now. Thank you so much, Engineer Peter.
Yeah, let me just read this comment and then you can give your opinion. So Mrs. Tijani here says, good morning, Mariam. The UK hospitals usually ask us to give consent for a placenta to be used for medical research. And that's what I was saying earlier. That's where I would like us to think as a people. Even our hospitals, I would like to know, do we do medical research with our placenta? We just throw it away and waste it.
Bury it.
Bury it so that our destiny will not be stolen.
We have not gotten there. We still treat it as waste at the hospitals because the hospitals, most of them are not teaching hospitals. They are specialist hospitals from others.
You know better.
And clinics, most of us even have our babies at primary healthcare centers. And these are not...
Even at home.
This is not a national idea.
But they can be
so if it's not
teaching hospitals.
If it is not a national idea and you go and carry my placenta and cut research, it's like taking a body and somebody will say, I donate the body or certain organs. It's still a strange idea.
Yes, people hardly do that.
So Mr. Engineer Tijani says, please, where is the placenta of the children born in the UK buried? In the garden? We are too superstitious in this part of the world. The placenta is rich in stem cells that can be used to treat conditions like immune diseases, tissue damage, and cardiovascular diseases. So who no fear our people, no go fear God. Traditionally, it is given to the father of the child to confirm ownership of the baby. We just demonized everything. Burning in an environment is an environmental pollution.
Form of DNA.
But what I know is that we don't have ancestral homes anymore. And we are not the first to have ancestral homes. In England, all your titles are linked to your family land that you have. And so they have ancestral homes. In fact, you can put in a clause of no sale that bans your generations to come from transferring that title to any stranger because you do not want to lose your land and everything. So we're not the first. But when we had ancestral lands, placentas were buried there as part of their title, their property. It is not because of superstition to keep that love. You go, they bury your placenta. Why you say, no, they leave that place? Because you're supposed to be tied to that place. So the superstition is not necessarily negative, or the myth around it should not necessarily be believed, because you see, in every world, in Islam, for instance, we believe there's no harm possible. But there's also evil. So in every war, there's evil. People will tend to want to do for ritualists and everything. It's not everything that is evil. There are several traditions, several religious grounds that have reasons that are noble behind them, and so we should look for those ones.
So we have Festus from Abuja. I wanted to tell Nima that even in our Bible it says no costless cause shall stand. But Festus, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Good morning.
Good morning.
We can hear you.
Yes. Yes, I am. Good morning to all you ladies.
Good morning.
You're really doing a very good job. Yes. Now, what Nima said is very close to the truth. On the personal note, I believe that superstition is what is wrong. Are there no successful people whose placentas have been buried? Are we now saying that there are no successful people on earth that their placentas have been buried? It's all superstition. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay, so because I had a lot of questions for the cleric himself. Yeah. What happened to his own placenta? Did they bury it? Did they boil it? They bury it or did they burn it? Did they burn it? Does he know what happened to his placenta? And then, there was something else you said. You were talking about how we'll take care of the umbilical cord using all those, you call them pepper soup spices, but they're spices like alligator. Yes, they have natural antibacterial, antifungal properties. So it's also a natural way of just keeping that place clean, because with medical science, we use, what do you call it, methylated spirit, just to keep it clean. So, those are the things that I feel. So I'm using all this now to link to the question you were asking, Tope, about because we're Christians, should we now be careless? Because I see that, and I agree with you. Sometimes we are, well, Jesus has covered it, and then we live our lives so carelessly. But if we know that there's a history, we come from a place. Yes. We come from people that have a set of beliefs. And sometimes when we question those sets of beliefs, it may not necessarily be spiritual. It may just be those stories told so that we can live our lives better. There used to be this superstition my grandmother would used to say about backing a child and fetching water from the well. And I remember when my brother was growing up, he had one tooth out. And she says, who has been backing him and fetching water from the well? I was like, what has that got to do with anything? Which well first? She was like, no, somebody is putting him on the back and fetching water. That's why his teeth is growing weirdly. My mom now explained to me that sometimes it's just their way of protecting us. Imagine if you put a child on your back and you go to fetch water from the well, the child could fall in. So traditional Africa, especially in Africa, we tell these stories so that we live our lives better. But it's also important to carry it into our Christianity. Understand it so that with our Christianity, let's not just throw things away and just
even the Bible said, Jesus said, give unto Caesar what is Caesar's and unto God what is God. It means that they are selling, as long as those traditions are not killing people, they are not hurting people, they are setting traditions from every tribe that we can still uphold, we can still understand, we can still infuse.
Understand it.
Yes, infuse, even infuse. We cannot throw it away. There was something we had before Christianity and Islam came. So we can still hold on to some of those things. Yes.
If it doesn't
and use
serve
the one that
you,
serves us and drop the one that doesn't serve us. We have another caller and I'll come to you. Good morning, are you there?
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
My name is Abiodun Morakinyo, calling from Ibadan.
You're welcome.
You're welcome to the show.
Good. I want to throw a question at you, ladies. Thank you for good job. Before I make my own submission.
Okay.
Do all of you, the way I see you, you are all successful.
By God's grace.
And I can let's leave God out of it. And I can guarantee you people, you are successful, but all of you, your placenta were buried.
Possible.
All of us.
Now, it is not all pastors that you listen to. Most of them are businessmen, they are not pastors.
Okay. Thank you.
Now, my own placenta was buried. I buried the placenta of my children. By whatever, They are all successful. Now, culture, tradition, like my friend said there are some ladies that they had to do one or two things to so that they don't get necessarily promiscuous. That is their own belief. It is not tradition. It is no culture. Where I come from in Lagos, they don't even know anything about all these things. If you want to be good, you are good. If you want to be bad, you are bad. So there are some things we just have to remove Christianity from. Christianity came to us. And I can say with all authority that before we accepted Christ, this country that we call Nigeria and Africa has been living a better life. Now the Christianity is here. The Christians, the pastors are not capitalizing on it and making it a commercial venture. So it is not an issue at all. Whatever you believe in, do with the placenta of your child. For Igbo people, they don't know where they put their placenta. My grandchild that was born abroad, I don't even know where the placenta is. And I thank you so much. Lina, you have always won my heart anytime you talk.
Thank you.
And every one of you, I respect you so much. God bless you all.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
So I wanted to island I'm using it to eat.
I just find
the thing about questioning culture is very, very important. My mom's family, they don't eat bitter leaf. I think they have allergies towards something there, so they don't eat it in their entire, their entire body would start itching all over. So like it's not eating. It's allergy, but the way she grew up, of course, they didn't know which one is allergy. They just say our family is forbidden for us to eat bitter leaf because when we eat it, something that so there are things like that we hear. So our job, because as we get more, as we understand and question it, we don't worship what we don't understand, which is what we tend to do here. Oh, the river, people enter that river and they die on the 3rd day of every month. So on the 3rd day, we must sacrifice a goat there so that people will not die there. When in actual fact, it could be tides. There are things, just question to know better. Somebody now commented on YouTube that even the pastor is using superstition to shakara his congregation in church. What have we become? Another person was like, if a child is not smart, they will say it is the placenta that something has happened to. Andrew says people are thinking of going to Mars. We are still foraging backward in superstition. Jagbajantis in Nigeria.
So I wanted to say, right, my husband's family, they do the naming ceremony for their children at 3 months. Where I come from, in 7 days. And my what they explained to me was that traditionally they would say, for spiritual reasons, but that really was that a lot of children died before 3 months at that time because there was no really medicine, proper hospital. So usually, so it was harder to have named a child and then the child dies. So they will give the child 3 months at least. At least by that 3 months, it shows that you're a survivor. So don't waste and then they give you a name. So but some people would explain it like a spiritual thing, but it was just really, so as I said, Africans, there's a way we tell our stories to protect us. But my own is mindset. Our mindset should be, how do we help humanity? How can we contribute towards medical innovation? That's the way we should think.
And what sort of teachings should we be receiving from the pulpits? I'll come back to that. Idris Shaga, we have a caller from Idris Shaga. Good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, my name is Oyaka Mongo, Karl Abubakar. And my contribution. Hello?
We can hear you.
I can hear you.
Yes. My contribution is this. I think we should stop listening to dangerous preaching from very dangerous, pastors. I'm saying this because I have never heard where a placenta was burnt because of fear of this thing. You see, this is a traditional thing. Most of us grew up knowing that when a baby is born, the placenta is kept away. It's taken by the parents and buried somewhere. I had all my children in Lagos here. And I know I buried my children this thing. But I doubt, very, very much, that it has any impact on their future. And I'm saying this because people have gone to the hospitals and have their arms or legs amputated. Are you saying because they did not take that thing home to bury themselves, it will affect them? The placenta is just a middle. What do you say? How do I put it now? It's a middle distance between the mother and the child. If it will affect the child, it should affect the mother. You see, that the need to bury this thing is because it is human. It's part of human. So I've had a situation where they say a woman, use this thing to make a, charm. I don't believe in all these things. I'm not saying that people don't believe, but you see, superstition works more and better when you believe it.
When you believe it. So true.
So I do not think that. Yeah, I don't think the pastor is right. People should be listening to that. That's very, very dangerous. Preaching. The man
Thank you.
People should be listening to it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It will be done unto you according to your belief. But what sort of preaching should we expect from clerics and people who, communicate with God and sort of give us like normal directions on how to handle our spiritual lives? Why I'm asking this is, when we were growing up, the message that was paramount was salvation. Anywhere you go to is about living upright. Make sure you live upright so that you can make heaven. Make sure you live. But now we're seeing a lot of preaching in different. They'll preach to you how you're going to sleep with your wife. They'll preach to you how to navigate your relationship. They'll preach to you about how you're going to do your business. We don't hear so much of the salvation message. That first of all, so what sort of, because if you can preach in all these angles, tomorrow you have one calling to preach. Very soon we start hearing preaching on how side chicks are going to help us handle our marriages better. Because everybody can have a direction depending on, and they will quote scriptures to tell you that all the people God worked with in the Bible did not have one wife.
Okay, so
they will tell you that.
I can talk for Christianity, and from Jesus, the stories in the Bible about Jesus is that people, when you're the leader, a religious or spiritual leader, people will come and ask you many questions.
Okay.
Even Jesus got some questions that were personal. But, he had a guiding principle, which is about loving your neighbor as yourself. And, somebody asked, how
many times should I forgive?
How many times should I forgive? I know there was somebody, there was a story, there was a question that he used the story of the Samaritan to answer, so that was,
my neighbor?
So those are, so I think it's normal. Now, you had mentioned earlier that all religions have different sects because they're influenced by different factors and culture, beliefs, whatever it is. And it's true also of today's pastors or clerics or our spiritual leaders. They are influenced by their level of education, their exposure, their traditional beliefs, what they see around them. So you see this man, probably in his own community, given the limited exposure or education that he has, that is what he will tell them. And he's drawing from what is happening around them. They recognize it. They find it relatable. You speaking here with all your education and your exposure and all the things they will think you're this one does not even know what is happening. They don't know life. Don't know the real thing that is happening. See them just opening their mouth carelessly.
They've not seen life.
They've not seen. Then they'll give you story of this person that did not burn it and this one that burnt it. So that is just life, And then you just hope that. So that's where government comes in. Government does not care what religion, and then it gives you, we hope that government to understands what is important and then gives like a general information, general knowledge and say, Nigerians, this is how we want you to deal with yourselves. We want you to keep yourself healthy. We want you to be fair to each other, and that is, we want you to educate yourselves. We want you to go to school. But definitely we'll constantly be influenced by people who are influenced by many things.
Nima, talk from your own side. What should your clerics be preaching?
My parents already preach what we know, and we are very understanding of culture. Any culture that doesn't, or tradition that doesn't negate the teachings of Tawhid, which is the oneness of God, monotheism, is allowed. Doesn't teach you to abuse the rights of others, is allowed. So burying the placenta is my standard. But somebody was saying that she has her kids abroad, that she has never been told what happens to her placenta. They don't even bring it back as in Nigerian hospitals to ask you, because it's not their culture what happens there. But we have seen that people have culture. They do. With Epstein, we have been seeing they eat bodies. So So you imagine when you do
Did you just go there?
What do you mean legendary?
Did you just go there?
How many copies of the files? They eat babies.
Yes.
You know.
They drink blood.
They drink blood. They are more superstitious than we are.
Yes, they are.
And we think that, you know, we are the worst. And they told us everything about us was black, and black was negative, and everything was bad. Only for us to find out what was white, they drink blood. What was white, they chop babies. And what was white can be chopping placenta. So you have your babies there. Demand, because ordinarily, if your organs were taken out during a medical process, you demand a body for biopsy. You do. You follow it through. So not be ask for your placenta. That's all I can say.
They say the final for medical research.
Look at it now.
Let me quickly
no,
just
you can
say
give
that
it. You have the consent to give it for medical research, not there or the
taking it
hospital.
from.
But imagine if you take your placenta to your home in the UK and say you want to bury it, your neighbor will now call the authorities and say they are burying something.
Let
me just quickly say that when we preach, the Bible already gave us context for whatever we are preaching and saying, whatever is true, whatever is honest, whatever is just, whatever is pure, whatever is of good report. So if your message is not true, pure, honest, good reports, then don't preach it. So preaching, you can preach on any topic, but it must be good, it must be just, it must be of good report, it must edify us. If it's not putting fear in our hearts, so the cleric, you are putting fear in our hearts, it's not edifying us. So don't preach it again.
You call it fear because even the several religion self came with fear. They threatened.
That's how they preached it.
Every day they were threatening it.
That's
if you don't give your life back, you go to
the Bible.
If you don't give your
That's why they preached it. That is not the Bible.
There's judgment that you will judge. You will judge. It's still fear, but we hear you.
It's direction.
That's part of fear too. You know the fear hellfire is down there. That's all we can take on the topic today. I'm
not afraid of you.
Right now, I fear who don't fear me.
That's all we can take on the show today. Thank you so much, ladies. I didn't know that this topic would take us to this level. It's very important that we have some of these conversations that we think they sound like it's not really important, but a lot of people need to know what to do with things like this. We'll see you again tomorrow for another beautiful show.
I can't find out where my